Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to DIY Art Class. So today I'm here with another flower painting. So as you know, I love flowers. I love painting flowers. So today I'm gonna paint on this 10 by 10 size of a canvas, and it's a kind of a framed canvas. If you don't have anything like this, you can definitely paint on any type of canvas paper, maybe, or maybe on a watercolor paper using watercolors. So yeah, you can also follow me. You can also paint with me if you like. And I'm trying to so here's my plan. I want to add a nice little pot right here and some flowers coming from the pot. Okay, so I find this kind of a little lid of this one container I have. Can't really tell you what is the size of this. Let me see if I can. Oh, there you go. Okay, so the size maybe is about like 3.5. So whatever you want to use, any type of a lid, it's up to you how big, how small you want your vase. I really want mine kind of a not too big, not too small, so I choose this one. Maybe I can go a little bit bigger than this one I have. Let me check if I can find anything bigger, because I really want to make it a little bit bigger, but I cannot find the lid. Let me see if I can find a lid. Okay, I found something better than this one here. This is too small, I guess, so I think this is much better. What I'm trying to do, at least I try to find the size of this lid that is at least, it's gonna cover like half of my canvas, the half of the bottom of my canvas, or maybe kind of little close to that. So I'm gonna leave a little space from bottom, and I'm just gonna add my vase, maybe glass jar, maybe right here. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of trace it very quickly, and then I'll show you what materials I'm gonna use. So let me go ahead and just draw the outline here. Okay, so this is a cashew nut containers lid. So all right, so there you go. I have a nice big circle. Now these are the color I'm gonna use. These are the mostly colors I usually use. This is white, this is just a regular blue, this is kind of a rose red, and this is like a more magenta kind of a red. So this is darker red. When I mix this with a white, it becomes kind of a pink color. When I use this white with the red, it looks like a kind of a peach color, I want to say. Okay, now this one is yellow, regular yellow, brown, and green. Okay, so I'm gonna use a lot of colors. Oh, and a black color. All right, so make sure you grab a cup of water and let's start. Okay, so first I'm gonna try to cover the background. That's how I like to paint my painting. I always work on the background first and then add the details after that. So I'm gonna use this flat brush for the background, and I'm gonna use this tiny little brush for the details, and I'm gonna also use a round brush and this round brush to add flowers and other stuff. So yeah, these are the three brushes I'm gonna use. Here's the size if you wanna just maybe pause it, and it's a flat brush. This is number 6, it says, but I don't think so. This is number 0 size. Yeah, it says 0. All right, so let's start painting. Now before I paint any painting like this, what I like to do usually, just to make my painting goes so quicker, so faster, and so that I don't waste a lot of time, I just like to take a little water on my brush, and I'm just gonna apply it everywhere on my canvas. Now it's okay if I miss some spots. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just gonna help to spread this paint and apply this paint on this canvas so much easily. Now don't do this if you are using watercolor paper. You don't have to do this. Now the texture of this canvas is kind of a little bit rough, so that's why I like to do this on a canvas. Now if you want me to paint on a watercolor paper, maybe next time something similar, please let me know, because I know there are so many people who only paint on the watercolor paper. So let's see if I can also do that, and I can also show you if we can do that on the watercolor paper. All right, now I am done applying this water here. I'm gonna start applying the colors. Now I want to make the background kind of a little lighter bluish color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little bit of white like that and tiny bit of blue. Now you can definitely mix your color on your paper plate if you like. I just like to do that on my canvas so that every time I apply this color, it's gonna be slightly different shade so that I don't just end up with one color on my painting, if that makes sense. Okay, now I'm just gonna start applying this paint like this. Now since I apply water, it's gonna be so much quicker, trust me. So I'm just gonna apply it like that. You can go left and right, up and down, however you want to apply this color, because I'll show you how to smooth out this color in a second. So let me do this one more time, maybe here. So do you see how this area looks kind of a little darker than this one? That's what I am going for, because I don't want one color on my painting. So okay, I'm just gonna take more white, a little bit blue, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm also gonna go over and inside this circle because it's a glass jar. You can also paint the edges if you like. I'll do that later, maybe, or maybe now. Now when I paint a background like this, I usually don't take a lot of time because I always don't want it to be like too perfect, you know. So I just go with the flow. It is what it is. I'm not gonna go over too many times. That's what makes it look, for me it's better. So okay, so I'm gonna cover the whole circle and I'm gonna come all the way to the bottom of this canvas. Okay, I think I like that. I'm not gonna go too many times here. All right, now I'm gonna add the kind of a table on the bottom here because my glass is sitting on a table. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of brown. Now I'm gonna clean my brush very quickly here. You can also use a piece of paper towel to dry your brush. Alright, now I'm just gonna use my brown paint. As you can see, I just take a little bit of paint because I usually I'm not gonna use a lot of brown here because my table is kind of little. It's only gonna cover like maybe this much of area. So let's say and I'm also gonna go over this circle because again it's a glass jar. So I'm just gonna add a line maybe right here. As you can see, it's not a straight line. It's okay, my table is not straight, it's not leveled, it's okay. Let me try to make it kind of little level. That's fine. Okay, now I'm just gonna cover the bottom. Now I'm gonna use like a kind of little black here too, so let me just use brown for now. And I also like to use a little bit of white. I'm just gonna use a white also. I don't want to make my table too dark. Okay, and just maybe a little bit of black kind of lines like that. And I'm just gonna go over one more time, very lightly. If you feel like you can, it's not blending, you can go more than once here. It's an abstract painting. Okay, and I'm also gonna do the edges. Okay, now I'm just gonna clean my brush and actually just leave it in my water cup because I'm done with that. And I'm gonna grab my round brush. Okay, so now it's a time to work on the flowers. So I'm gonna work on this circle at the end because we just have to kind of add some kind of a like kind of a, you know, just a little highlight using just a white and maybe a little bit of black. So I'm just gonna start working on adding some flowers. You can use any color you like to. I'm just gonna use, let's say I'm gonna start with the darker flower here. So I'm just gonna use this flower, this color I have. So I'm just gonna take a little water first. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take just this dark red color. Again, it's almost like a magenta type of a red, so it's almost like this color. Okay, now my first flower is gonna come maybe on this side. Okay, so let's say I'm just gonna add like a little circle just for the reference. Okay, so there is gonna be my first flower. I know this part is gonna be kind of a little scarier, but just go for it. Okay, so trust the process. Okay, now I'm just gonna fill everything inside. This is gonna be again my first flower, and I want to come maybe a little bit inside of this glass jar, so I'm gonna make it a little bit more bigger. Okay, let me just make it more darker. Okay, so that's gonna be my first flower. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. I'm gonna add more flowers. So let's say maybe I'm gonna clean my brush. And next flower, I'm gonna add a yellow flower. So I'm gonna add that right here, but I don't want to use the yellow because that is something I'm gonna use on top of that flower to, you know, make that flower pop a little bit. So I'm gonna make a kind of an orange color. To make an orange, I'm gonna use my yellow and just a little bit of red, and I'm gonna use this lighter red because when I mix this color with the yellow and white, it looks like kind of an orange and more like a peach. But when I mix this one with the white, it's almost just a pink color, you know. So just a red. So let me add this maybe right here, so almost the opposite side, so maybe right here. Okay, I'm just gonna fill inside. Okay, trying to make it slightly bit bigger. It doesn't have to be perfectly circle because I'm gonna add a lot of petals to, you know, we don't want this perfect shape. So okay, next color I'm gonna clean this here first. Okay, now I'm gonna mix this red, lighter red, with the white, and you'll see how it looks like. I mean, you'll see the difference when I mix this color with just a white. Okay, I'm not making it too light because I'm gonna add the petals lighter than the background of this flower. Okay, now this flower, I'm gonna add it in almost maybe right here. So I'm really kind of covering the top of this jar. So I'm gonna add the circle maybe right here. Do you see how it looks kind of a peachy pink color? Okay, fill it inside. Okay, I'm just gonna cover the whole thing. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little bit more bigger, I guess. That's better. Okay, so the next color I'm gonna mix and make is almost like, again, pink color, but it's gonna be slightly different shade. So I'm gonna take a little bit of white and this darker red. Okay, I'm gonna mix it together. So do you see the difference? This is almost look like a peach, but this is like a pink. Okay, now I'm gonna add that flower. Let's maybe on this side, because I want to add one more flower, or maybe I can make this one a little bit bigger. So let me add that here. Let me make it slightly a little darker because it's too light for me. Okay. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, all right, now I'm gonna clean my brush. I'm just gonna make this orange flower a little bit bigger, and also this pink flower a little bit bigger, because those are kind of bigger flower. So again, you don't have to really completely follow me for this. I mean, you can just make any flower bigger you want on your painting. Okay, I'm gonna make this one a little bit bigger, so let me make that color very quickly. Now again, whenever you make this, whenever you're painting like any painting and you're trying to create the same color, I know it's hard to create the same color, but guess what, you don't have to make the same color. Just make whatever you can and apply it and work around it, and trust me, it's all gonna come together. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, I'm gonna work on two more here, and I think I'm done with that. Okay, let me clean my brush, and this time I'm gonna mix the orange and white. Okay, so let me take some white, and since I don't have orange, I'm gonna have to take a little bit of red and yellow. Okay, mix. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit more yellow. It's almost gonna be like a peach color, but different than this one. Okay, I'm gonna take more yellow and more red. Okay, I think I like this. Okay, now I'm just gonna add like a, not too big, but I'm just gonna add like a one flower right here, maybe a little small one. And don't be afraid to just overlap your flowers, because we're gonna do that anyways when we start adding the petals. So okay, I think I like that. I'm just gonna clean my brush, and I'm gonna add another flower. Maybe this time I'm gonna use a little darker pink, so sorry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of red and just a little bit of white. I'm also gonna take maybe this red here too. Okay, so it's gonna be slightly a little darker than this pink. Okay, now I'm just gonna add this maybe, let's see, right here, kind of a little small one this time. And not too round, so it depends on how much space you have available, to be honest. I mean, you have space around your flowers, and you can just go with the flow, I guess. Okay, now I want to make this flower also maybe a little bit bigger. Why not? I made all the flowers bigger, so I want to make it nice and big flowers. So that's that. I'm not gonna make it too big on the bottom, but mostly on the top, this area. Okay, I'm done applying these circles. Now I'm gonna work on this jar. Now my background is completely dry, so I can work on that. If yours is still wet, just let it dry everything and then do this part. So here I'm gonna use my small brush and I'm gonna start applying some white. So let's say, actually, let's start with the black first. So I'm gonna take a little black and I'm just gonna apply. I'm just gonna follow my pencil line. I hope you can also see your pencil line. If not, you can let it dry again and use your lid. Go over with one more time with the pencil. Right now, for this part, you might want to turn your canvas because I like to do that. So I'm just gonna go very slow. I hope you can see that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna go around and over my pencil line. And if you want to use maybe a Sharpie or a marker, you can also use that, but I usually just use my brush because I don't want a line that looks like a, it's like a pen. It looks like a pen line, because with the brush some of the area is gonna be more like you're gonna get like a thicker line, and the other area maybe you're gonna get more thinner line. So that's how I like. So that's why I don't like to use a pencil, a marker or anything like that, but you can definitely use that if you like. Okay. As you can see, it's not around, right? It's okay. That's how it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go over one more time because it's too thin for me. So I'm just gonna make it slightly a little bit more thicker, just on some areas. So okay, same thing on the other side. Okay, like I said, only on some area I'm gonna go over. Okay, now you know how the bottom of the jar kind of look like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add another line under this line. So maybe something like this. Just so that it looks like kind of a little base on the bottom. So I just add kind of a little base, you can say. Okay, I'm gonna clean my brush and then I'm gonna add some white here. So I skipped this area because I'm gonna cover that area anyways with some petals, more petals on the flowers. I'm gonna make this flower a little bit more bigger. So okay, now I'm gonna add some white. So let me do that. So I'm gonna add, let's say maybe white, kind of a little highlight maybe over here, just adding kind of a white like that. Same thing on the other side. If you cannot see this white light, go over maybe a couple times like this one here so that you can see that line. Okay, just kind of adding a couple more lines here. Okay, all right, now I'm gonna add kind of a water line. So I'm gonna clean my brush and I'm gonna do that with the black color. Okay, and let's say maybe my jar is covered, almost like a half of this jar at least, you know, it's covered with the water. So I mean filled with water. So I'm just gonna add a lines that looks like this. So let me start from here. Kind of adding a little curve line. Okay, same thing, one more on the bottom. Now this is if you want to do it with the pen or marker, you can do that. Okay, now I'm gonna clean my brush and I'm gonna do the same thing with some white. So I'm gonna take a little white and then add some white going in that direction. So something like this. You can also go over your black if you feel like it's not as perfect as you want. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back with some more black because I really don't want this line to look like this on the edges. So I'm gonna go over just to hide that kind of little corner area. Okay, I'm gonna clean my brush and I'm gonna take my round brush and I'm gonna start adding some petals. Okay, so let me clean it. Okay, I'm gonna start, let's say with the maybe this flower here. So I'm gonna take some that same color, to be honest. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some petals. So I'm gonna start from the middle, and basically all I'm gonna do is add kind of a little half C, you can say, like this, just to break the pattern that I have in the background. And I'm gonna add more colors once I'm done breaking the petals like that, I mean the background. So now you can see the difference. Like, did you see, like it was covered with just one color? Now when I use the same color and add the shape of this petal, it looks slightly a little different than what it was before, right? So I'm done with that. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with slightly little lighter colors. So I'm gonna make this color just maybe a little bit lighter. So I'm taking a little bit white and I'm gonna apply it by doing the same thing by adding petals. So let's say maybe something like this. You might have to make more colors, or maybe you can also let your background color dry and then do this, because it will be much easier if you do it that way. Okay, I'm gonna go do the same thing on the edges, and that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna go too many times. Okay, now I'm gonna work on my second flower. So let me show you one more time. I'm just gonna use this same color. Let me make that color very quickly. Instead of taking white, I take water. So okay, let me make it very quickly here, and I'm just gonna go over this flower again. Let me show you one more time. So I'm just gonna, let me make it slightly darker so you can see the difference maybe. Okay, so something like this. You can also go back to see the difference on this video. Okay, I think I like this. Now I'm gonna add some white. I'm not really cleaning my brush, as you can see. I mean, you can definitely clean your brush, or you can let this dry if you like. whatever you are comfortable with. I'm just gonna take little white and mixing it with this color because I don't want it to be like, you know, dark white, not at least now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add white like that, like kind of light peach like that. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing with all other flowers. So let me do this again. First, I'm using the same color that I use in the background just to break that pattern that I have here, and then mix a little bit of white with that color to add more petals, and you're gonna get something like this. Okay, so let me do this very quickly here. Okay, I really want to use some more yellow for this flower and these flowers. I'm gonna use some yellow, and I'm gonna mix the white and the yellow together for this. And before I actually do that, let me add some of this peach color first here. Okay, just to break the background color. Okay, I'm gonna clean my brush. Okay, and then I'm gonna add the white and the yellow. Okay, so do you see how the yellow really pops out a lot? Okay, just gonna add more yellow, just a plain yellow. Okay, same thing for this one here. just a little touch of yellow, not really going up, and just kind of adding a little bit of touch of just maybe a red color. So just taking a little red. You can take either the darker one or the lighter one, it's up to you. I'm just gonna add maybe a couple of the 3 or 4 lines like this. Okay, same thing here. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just maybe a little touch of this color. Okay, same thing here. Okay, I think I like this. Just gonna stop right here. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, as you can see, I kind of little messed up on this area, but it's okay. After it dry, I can just I'll show you how to fix that. Okay, so, or maybe let's make it a little mess. What say? So I'm gonna add some petals first, and then I'll try to make some mess. I'll show you what I really mean in a second, but let's work on these petals. I'm using same brush, and then I'm just gonna, you know, take a little bit of green. Now I don't like to just use a green here. I'm just gonna mix it with a little bit of white and a green. Okay, and then I'm just gonna add some petals. So let's say maybe I want to add some on this area, so I'm just gonna add a petal like that, just using my brush as a stamp. So let me make it a little bit darker because it's too light. Okay, now I'm just gonna kind of, you know, just stamping it on this area here. You can just add all different shades of shape of petals. I'm just keeping it very simple. You can also add different shades, shape of these petals. I mean, maybe something like this if you like, or just maybe use your brush as a stamp. Yeah, and I just like to, you know, turn my canvas, just easier for me. So maybe I'm gonna add one. Here, it almost looks like it's coming from behind the flower, so just gonna add maybe more on this area, maybe a little bigger because I have more space. I always like to add, you know, 2 together, at least 2 or 3. When I add 1, it looks kind of little weird to me somehow. I don't know why. I don't know if you feel anything like that when you paint something like this. I don't know, but I feel like that. Oopsie. Okay, now I'm gonna also add stems, right? I forgot to add stems earlier, so let me add stems. So I'm gonna use my small brush, and I'm gonna use just a regular green this time because stems are, you know, kind of a little darker always. So let's say I have line coming from here to in the water like that. It's coming behind from here, so I'm just gonna add just very random lines. Okay, I'm not gonna add too many of this line, just this is good enough for me. Okay, now I also like to add a little bit of a darker green, just a regular green I mean, and just add kind of a little line on a petal. So it doesn't have to be perfect, just adding like one line either on the left side or right side, it's up to you. Just adding a line like that. You can just add a line in the middle if you like. Okay, so and if your leaves are already darker, then you can use lighter color, or maybe lighter green, or just maybe white, why not? Okay, so here I'm all done. Now let's make some mess. Remember I said let's make that we're gonna make a little mess here. You can keep it the way it is, or this is what I like to do. Let's try this. Okay, so I'm gonna clean my brush here, and I have this color here for this flower, and I'm just adding a little bit of, actually whole bunch of water here. Okay, nice water, and I'm just gonna use maybe a little something like this, or maybe this one. Kind of a little container or anything, so that it stays, my canvas stays like that when I add the mess. I hope that makes sense. Okay, that's better, you can see that now. Okay, now I'm gonna use this and just kind of add a little drip. I mean, I'm gonna need to use this bigger brush, I think. Okay, so I think I like that. So I'm just gonna add kind of a little drip like that. I think this is too big drip for me, so I'm gonna use again my small brush. Okay, so it's just almost the same color also for this flowers, so I'm just kind of you might have to, you know, turn your canvas like this because it's not really moving that fast. Okay, come on. Make sure you do this when this black area dry. So and I like to do it one by one color, so that, you know, I don't just end up with the. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, now next color I'm gonna use is gonna be this this red. So let me just add a whole bunch of water. You don't really need a lot of paint here, just more water. Mix it with your paint, just a little paint. Use your other brush to get more water so that you can do this a little faster. Okay, and I'm just gonna add a drip, maybe coming from down here. Okay, maybe another drip coming from right here. So this process might take a little time, but you know, it's all for fun, right? That's what we are here for, and that's what we are doing right now. So take your time, have fun. Okay, I don't want to bring all of them all the way to the on the bottom of this you know, a canvas here, so I'm just gonna maybe stop right here. Okay, next color I'm gonna use is a yellow, low yellow, nice and bright yellow. Okay, alright, so the next color I'm gonna try is a green, just a darker green, not using light green here. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is add some more colors here. So what I'm gonna do is just take you know, I think these are all drips are good enough. I'm not gonna add too many. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here with these drips, and I'm just gonna add some dots. So I'm just gonna take this color or any color you like, and I'm just gonna add dots like that. You can use any color you want to use. Maybe I'm gonna add some here. I like to add like 3 dots, you know. If you know me, I like to do this. So let me clean my brush. I'm gonna do the same thing with other colors. Maybe I want to use blue. Maybe some down here. Okay, I'm just randomly adding some more dots, like, you know, on a flower like that. Okay, thing like that. Okay, now one thing I'm gonna do, since I messed this area kind of a little bit, I'm gonna add a drip there using a black color. So just taking a kind of little drip coming from here, I mean starting from there and going down. Trying to, you know, make it kind of a little straight as possible, because just take a little curve from this place. I don't really wanted to do that. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, thing like that. Okay, all right, I have another drip maybe coming from here, so I'm gonna fix that a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna, you know, fix this also. Okay, and I hate this, so I'm gonna show you how I remove this drip. So for that, I'm just gonna, you know, just take a little bit of water. I mean, since it's already wet, I just use a paper towel and also just my finger to just wipe that out. And this is how I usually clean if I don't like anything, but you can also let it dry and paint over it if you like. Okay, so it's much better now. I'm just gonna take that black paint, and with my small brush I'm just gonna go over and just kind of outline that glass jar area. And yeah, I'm all done. I'm gonna do the same thing with my other drip there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna use this yellow just to hide this area because I wasn't really happy with that. So I'm just gonna add a little drip using some yellow there, and I'm just kind of faking this drip. I'm gonna also fake other drips here too because I feel like that after that dry it's still very light for me. So I'm just gonna go over those strips one more time using similar color so that, you know, it's slightly a little bit darker. So something like this, I'm just gonna go over like that, just faking some drips. Okay, so again, to clean anything like this, I'm just gonna apply a little bit of water on top of the area I want to remove, and then I'm just gonna use maybe a piece of paper or paper towel or something like that and just remove that water from there, and it's gonna be nice and clean. Okay, now I'm faking some more drips here, especially on the flowers that are on the top, and I'm just gonna go over the flowers that are on the bottom. So something like this, I'm just taking that thin paint and just kind of adding that drips kind of a look there, and some more white dots all around my painting and all other different dots, and also some white drips. More white dots on flowers this time, just very randomly I'm adding like on the flowers. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm not gonna overdo this now. Okay, one thing I forgot to do is maybe, you know, just add a little white on the bottom, just a little touch. All right, so there you go. Here I'm all done. I feel like I want to add more dots, but I know I should not add more dots. But guess what, I cannot control myself. So but I'm all done here. I hope you guys all have fun painting with me. If you do, make sure you give a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new to my channel. I mean, I love making this type of a painting. I know I am not really been posting a lot recently because you know, there are some stuff sometimes you cannot control, and yeah, so here I'm all done. Okay, so everything is dry on this painting. Now I'm gonna add some glitter. Now I'm gonna use actually a watercolor for this. So let me grab a little bit of a brush. So I'm gonna use just a round brush, and I'm gonna use this watercolor. Now I am almost out of this watercolor, but I mean, you know, I can still use it. So I'm just gonna use the lightest color I have here, and once it's gonna dry, you're not gonna see this color, but you're only gonna see the glitter. So this watercolor is really old. I got it from the, you know, high school. So okay, now I'm just gonna, you know, not gonna go everywhere, just barely, like gonna add a petal shape. So maybe like this. I know it's hard to see because trust me, I'm barely applying this and it's very light color, so I know you're not gonna see this like perfectly, but once it's gonna dry, I'll show you how it looks like. So let me go ahead and do the same thing on all of my flowers. Okay, I really don't want to apply too much. Okay, now I'm also going to apply this kind of a green glitter watercolor I have here on just a green area. So let me just take a little bit of green here. Okay, and then I'm just gonna add like a line there, so something like this. Again, I know it's hard to see, but once it's dry, I'll show you how it looks like. You can either do it on the light green area or the dark green, wherever you like. And I'm also gonna apply this glitter on this drip area because I want to make this drip kind of a little glittery. Now so I'm just gonna fake this drip, fake the drip, fake the drip. As you can see, I'm just going one time here. Alright, so yeah, here I'm all done with this painting finally. Now please let me know if you have any question, anything about any material or anything. But yeah, here I'm all done. Let me know what do you think about this painting. I love this painting. So thank you so much for painting with me. And as you can see, there is a little glitter kind of showing up in this painting, but it wasn't too it's like sunny here, so it's not as shiny as I thought it would be. But yeah, I'm all done. Thank you so much for painting. I will see you next time for another painting. Bye.